Squids TV. We're back. Playoffs.
Round one, baby.
Playoffs. Playoffs. Who was that coach? Not
Um,
Mike Leach. Who was that?
oh God,
Famous coach. I don't know why I thought Mike Leach coached like Oklahoma State.
there's a Czech coach. Um,
Yes. Not Mangini.
not Genie. Oh no, it's slipping my
Oh my God, this is terrible.
at the tip.
We're gonna have to restart the show. Who's that coach? Anyway, playoffs. Fuck. If you think of his name, let me know because I'm not gonna think of it.
All right.
Uh, Welcome to the 2024 Squids playoffs. Me and Mario, we're in.
Yeah, Bennett.
Who else was in? Tisso's in. Salah's in. Three new teams decided this week. Mario, let's go over it. How are you feeling going into the 2024 playoffs?
Um, I'm feeling good. My team, last couple of weeks had a couple stinkers, but
Doesn't
it's
matter until
all
now.
matter. Nothing really matters.
Until now. So, Mario, as discussed on last week's show, we had a couple teams already clinched, just went through them. There was three spots left, essentially, that were being decided last week. A little bit of movement in terms of, seating at the top, but pretty irrelevant stuff. The teams that were fighting were Rue the Day, Frank the Tank, Gear, and the Commish, which is what's the Commish team? Spade of Spades. It's stupid that I forgot about it. Spade of Spades. Four teams or five teams busting as well, fighting for three spots. Some brutal beats. I'll start with me versus Tom.
Yeah.
It's a tough pill to swallow if you're Tom. Tom had a win-in scenario. He was winning in terms of points, if I remember correctly. He just needed to win, and he would kind of clinch that 8 spot.
Yeah, he was
He put up
clear.
128.
A great week. An
He
absolutely great week.
It's a great week. He ran into wide receiver 1 and Zach Charbonnet, which is awful. That like those are the two guys that you run into. If you lose to Derrick Henry, you don't feel as bad. When Zach Charbonnet puts up 34 points, I would be livid. He was texting me. He was not happy. I wouldn't be happy either. But I respect Tom for going out swinging. This was a 2-win team through like 10 weeks,
Yeah.
something like that. And he rattled off 4 to 5 wins, something along those lines. He really made the push. I know that was your Super Bowl pick. I'll give you a minute to mourn here if you have any words for Tom. I'll tell you this from an outsider perspective, Tom is trending up. This team, he's competitive every year. If he would have made it in, this would have been the team that no one wanted to play.
We've been saying
And
that
we
past.
we talked about it, right? Like even Fulvio was saying, like we can't have Tom in because that's the team that beats Fulvio in the first round. A team like this, Puka Nakua, Achan has been fantastic. He's been fantastic. I mean, he puts up 16 points every week. It's a perfect guy to have. It's tough. Jerry Jeudy was like sneakily like a top 10 wide receiver now because the 10th wide receiver. He's been going berserk since week 8.
Yeah, it's Jameis, bro. Doesn't care loves throwing the ball.
He slings, and it's another tough pill with how late
Yeah.
buys are now. I just realized he didn't have Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's been phenomenal. This sucks, and I know Dan was making fun of him for it. I mean, what are you going to do? Sam Darnold and Mahomes. Mahomes is playing the Chargers.
Mahomes has been ass on the season. Go to Mahomes. He's like quarterback 20.
Quarterback 11.
Ass. Sam is like number one, baby.
Yeah, Sam put up a monster week. I mean, through 5 touchdowns. Yeah, 5 touchdowns.
Sam, number
Number
seven.
7. Number 7. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough pill to swallow. In theory, right, if you're going to make that call, Atlanta's not a good team, though. I don't know.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know. It's tough. It's tough.
And management right there. He could have been in
It's
easily.
tough. I mean, he plays Darnold. He's in, obviously. That's a tough pill to swallow.
I want to take Tom, put him over my lap, and you know.
Yeah. No, I got
And,
you. Don't go
and,
anywhere further than that. I got you.
and
Yeah, no, that's tough. Again, Tom, it's a great effort. I know he was saying he's going to lead the league. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. Um, but a great season for Tom. It started off not great. He made some moves, got himself to where he essentially needed to be. He came up one game short, one start short of a playoff berth. A quick moment of silence for Tom. Okay. Moving on. So that kind of took care of Tom, right? He needed to win. He's in. He ended up losing. That was kind of his fate.
yeah, Pooch also had had a win and in situation, and
Yeah.
he had the matchup,
And then
but
he got Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. So
He got Josh Allen,
actually
51
looking
points.
really
It's the
good.
best, it's the best quarterback in football, right? Are we doing
Yeah.
the Mahomes Allen debate anymore? I think Allen's just a better player.
No, that's tough.
I think he's a better player. It's crazy to say because Mahomes is racking up these accolades and is being compared to Brady, but like pound for pound today, if you were like, hey, you got one for the rest of the year, like who you taking? Like I'm taking Pat Mahomes. I'm taking Josh Allen.
I'm probably taking Josh Allen.
It's
They both throw
ridiculous how good
picks.
he is.
They both throw picks. Josh is better
Yeah.
on the ground.
Right. Josh definitely way more of a gunslinger. Mahomes is one of the best off off what do they say? Off schedule throwers like in history. He's ridiculous at it. And having Kelsey's a huge plus. Uh but whatever, we can have that conversation another day. He's carrying Salah at this point. He's absolutely carrying. He's definitely the number one player in fantasy football, right? Number two. I'm so curious who number one is.
How's he number two?
Who can number one be?
Is it Lamar?
It could very well be Lamar, and we can go talk about Fu after this. Um, Regardless, I mean, he saved Salah here. Jamar Chase is also incredible. He's going to win the Triple Crown for receivers this year. Monster game after monster game. I'm worried for Salah going into the playoffs with Jamar Chase because the team's dead.
No, they're not. No, they're still alive.
Are they?
If they lost that game, they were out. I think if they'd lost that game, it would have been really bad. But they still have a chance.
Well, they're a 5-win team, I think, so they're chasing a wild card. Yeah, I mean, they're behind the 8 ball, which is why they're probably just
I
force feeding
mean,
this guy. That makes
even
it better, actually.
if it comes down to week 18 for them to make the playoffs, that's good because this ends week 17.
Yeah,
You know,
that's fair.
he
That's
needs the
fair.
big.
Right. So, RIP and peace, team gear. That's all I got. Salah, number 4 seed in the playoffs, I think. He's kind of
Salah
been.
is number four. Yes.
We'll get into the bracket after we go over the next game, but um, yeah, congrats to Salah, RIP and peace, team gear. Two other teams playing massive games going in. Rue the Day. Rue the Day snuck in at the absolute buzzer. At the buzzer.
The
Uh,
skin on his teeth.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous, and it's unbelievable to me that this fucking guy Jordan Brooks or whatever, Jonathan Brooks, was on his team this long. He cut him yesterday before waivers. Why was he on the team? Why were you starting him?
And
Like,
he went against his boy he dropped a few weeks ago, Rico
yeah,
Dowdle.
which is one of the all-time fantasy blunders, especially for Johnny. My God, was that stupid? What are you doing? Dropping.
So emotional. He did that out of him. That was an emotional drop.
Yeah, which is a weird move for John. Usually he hoards guys like this, and he'll tell you like they're the greatest players ever if you try to trade for them.
Jordan Brooks as the greatest player. Scroll down on his roster. Who
I
is he
mean,
starting as number two this week?
I think for the year he's at negative points. Oh no, he had 5 points in this one.
I
Sick.
mean, I mean, if he starts him this week, if he starts Jonathan Brooks this week, he'll do better than what he did this week.
Yes, correct, correct.
You can't hurt
Uh,
him more than he did last week.
yeah, I mean, Jonnu Smith was a godsend of a pickup. He's been great. I mean, he did
He
all
got
that
all
in
his
overtime.
bro. He had 0 points at the end of regulation. John
All that
Smith.
in overtime. Yep, 11 points in overtime saved his season. It really saved the season for him.
I mean,
Uh,
I guess Javonte Williams is better than Brooks at this point. Hard. It
yeah,
might be close though. It might be close.
Jonathan Williams is mega ass, but
I might put an IR player than I rather
yeah,
put.
I think I'd rather play no one than those two guys. But I mean, he'll play a full lineup. Chase Brown, I talk shit about him. What in like week 6?
RB12.
Like he's like the best running back. I know I saw a thing. I think it was after week 8 on. He's like RB3. It's like Saquon,
Rookie too.
Bijan, and then him. It's like what the fuck. He's been incredible. He's carrying the team as well. Johnny's in. I think, and you could correct me if I'm wrong. The way it shook out was Gear was winning while the Josh Allen game was going on. If Gear pulled that out, Johnny was out. With Josh Allen going off, Johnny was able to sneak in with points, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how the hell he made the playoffs. I was making fun of him 2 weeks ago, saying like, "Hey, this
He
is
wasn't even on our radar last week. I don't think. I think we mentioned it
no,
in passing. Like, oh, John
no,
could make it, but a lot of things have to happen. And a
yeah."
lot of
And a lot of things happen, and a lot of things happen. So shout out John. I mean, he won this game by point 0.2.
Yeah, and I picked the Mortalton, baby. We'll get into that in a second,
We'll get
baby.
into that. We'll get into that. But point two, um, I mean, we'll talk more about this TSO team because I have some takes. But
Me too, bro. We'll get to that.
yeah, Johnny, welcome to the playoffs. The other team winning in, my boy, Frank the Tank. Josh Jacobs, 3 touchdowns, 66 yards. Thank God he scored those touchdowns because that's all we needed to get in to the moon. Although he's playing me in the first round, so to the grave. But Frank the Tank, in his first year, makes the playoffs. Bad sauce. He went out swinging. He didn't play a lineup for weeks. He scored 94 points. If he was scoring 94 points in week 10 and 11, I think he'd probably be in. Um,
It's sad. It's sad to see, but survival of the fittest. You open an app, you could, like you see, completely Rashad White.
yeah, or Addison, who's been, I think the last like 2 or 3 weeks has been really good, right?
It took
No,
Frank
he took
right
one,
at it.
one in between, but yeah, you would have sent Frank right to the grave, right to the grave. So yeah, shout out Frank. We'll see him in the playoffs as well. Any other matchups and notes? Dan won a stinker here, but that's all he needed to do to get into the playoffs. Robbie Dukes. I mean, he didn't play a wide receiver. Oh, he
Well,
took
after Rob finishes lineup, he benched his players.
yeah, which is smart.
Benched their
God forbid
distance.
you get the negatives. Be a no Brees Hall. This is going to be a tough team for him going into the playoffs. He's got dogs though. Although he dropped Christian Watson, which I thought was weird, but we'll see. I know Dan's got some tricks up his sleeve. He always does. He's pretty sharp at this stuff. Um, but yeah, Mary, let's go over. You want to do last week's records quickly before we jump into the
Yeah,
bracket?
yeah, yeah. So we went over the winners. So Dennis went 6-1 last week. Great week for
Oh,
Dennis. That might be
let's
the best
go.
this. That is the
Let's
best
go.
this year. Because I'm the only one to do a perfect week this year. Um,
Okay.
oops.
Was my one loss me?
Your one loss was Tiso.
Oh, I thought I picked against
Overall.
myself. Okay. My one loss was T. So, all right.
Your Mortal Fu, you got your Mortal right.
Correct.
Put you 50-50 on the year for Mortal, 6-6.
All
We
right.
did, we did miss a few weeks of Mortals, but we're not perfect.
No, no one's
Um,
perfect.
I went 5-2 this week. Missed
Good
on my
week.
stuff against Fu. Big Mortal Rue.
Shout out Rue. That was a huge game. Again, by the skin of his teeth, he was able to make the playoffs.
That puts me 68-29 in the regular season. And that puts Dennis at 62-35 regular season.
All
Both
right.
very,
All
very
right.
respectable records. Me 10-2 on the Mortals, and I said earlier 6-6 for Dennis on the Mortals. So
So you really got me on mortals, right? Because mortals are two.
yeah,
So if I had just a couple better mortals, we were in. Who's coming into my room right now? Mom, welcome to the show. Uh, Team Dust.
Team who?
Dust, like you dust the floor.
Oh, Team Dust.
That's me.
Okay.
Say something. All right. I'm gonna order food while we talk here. Anyway,
Hi. Say hi,
how you
Mary.
doing? You tell her my
uh,
team name?
my,
You tell her
what,
what my team name is?
yeah, look,
Team C?
he's calamaritti fritti. You know what that is? It's fried galamad.
Can't see it.
You
What?
can't see it right here.
Oh, calamari. Nice. Okay.
Fried galamad.
Where are you?
This one. Team Dust.
Team Dust.
Yeah.
Why Team Dust?
Well, back in the day, Mario stopped hanging out with us, and we used to say he was Dust.
Ah.
So it's kind of a shot at Mario. There you go. Mario, I forget where we were at because I was interrupted.
All right, do what you gotta do. We're gonna get to right to the playoff picture, so they can take a little break.
Okay, perfect. Should I cut it? I can cut it here. All right. I'm leaving that in though. Does it say how much time we're at? Fuck.
We're good. We're good.
Plenty of time.
So you're not doing football right now?
Oh, we were.
But you're cutting all this out, what you're saying right now.
From right when I said I think we should cut this to
Okay.
when you leave, I will cut it.
Okay, good. Hey, Mario, did you get your apartment yet?
No, we're still looking.
Okay. Where are you
Yeah.
looking? You gonna stay here in town or no?
We looked at somewhere on right by Mezzaluna used to be. We looked over there, but we probably have to go like White Plains or
Okay. Okay.
North White Plains has a lot of good stuff.
yeah, probably North White Plains or something. But we don't know if we're gonna buy like a condo or rent something for a little bit. We don't know yet still.
Okay. Harrison's nice too. Good schools.
Go to Bronxville. I'm looking at Bronxville, right by the Right by the hospital.
We saw really one like 3 months ago in Bronx. It was really really nice, but sold in like a heartbeat.
Yeah, that happens.
Mm-hmm.
That happens.
Yeah, we're just gonna probably gonna hop on something soon if we see something that we like.
Yeah,
But
Good for you.
just gotta stay
It's
ready.
hard because the good ones go so fast.
So fast.
so fast. And we saw one in Channing like 6 months ago, but it
Hmm.
went way over asking like crazy. So
And let me tell you something. They're hard asses. They are so
they are,
difficult
yeah.
to board. Very difficult.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard everyone buying in there has to have like someone co-sign because they like don't trust you to,
yeah, no,
your job or something.
When
It's
when my
ridiculous.
niece bought there, they made her give them 2 years of the maintenance up front.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
and their maintenance just keeps going up. Is really bad.
Yeah.
It's really expensive too.
Yeah,
Mm.
I heard.
Yeah, everywhere's like it's like $1,000 everywhere. I had no idea, like
the
HOAs and
insulation
whatnot.
may go up.
Your aunt lives there. It's right across the from my
Yeah,
cousin from AJ and her stuff.
Yeah,
yeah. I heard you put it in.
yeah, I put my burger.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Go back in. Okay, playoffs. Playoffs. So we're going to the bracket.
Let's do it.
Okay, let me pull it up here. All right, so the official 2024 bracket, and we'll do some bracketology here, man. We'll make some picks. 1 seed Fulvio, 8 seed John, or 8 seed Rue the Day. Can I look at the matchups here? I can't.
Go to matchups. I have the bracket written down.
Okay. Okay, I'll do it here.
Yeah, right here. This
Yeah,
is
this is done. Okay. So 1 seed Marvin's Room versus 8 seed Rue the Day.
And
You
then
want to start here? You want to go through all of them?
I'm gonna say, and Salentiso is also that side of the bracket. So let's do those two matchups first.
Okay. Okay. So we'll look at 1 seed first. Is he number one player? He is. Lamar Jackson, number one player in fantasy football this year. Um, I mean, Matt, we've been saying it all year. Fulvio's team is ridiculous. It got even more ridiculous after the Steve trade. Lamar Jackson, number one quarterback. Chuba Hubbard is a top RB1. Saquon Barkley might be the RB1 in terms of fantasy football this year. He also has Bijan now, RB3 for the year. It's ridiculous. Brian Thomas, I think, has been a little sketchy now. No, he's been fantastic too, even though they have
He's been better with Mac Jones.
because they just force feed him, right? It's crazy. This team is nuts. I don't know if anyone's really gonna have the firepower to take him out, to be honest. So that's gonna kind of lead you to where my pick's gonna go here. But Johnny got in. If he can, get some magic out of these two wide receivers, I think it's the only way he can get in. Unfortunately, one of them has Tommy DeVito playing the best team in football, so I don't know if that's going to happen.
But DeVito's playing now. What happened
DeVito's
to?
playing now. Drew Lock broke his foot. He's in a walking boot. They should just not play any more games, but he's questionable now. What the fuck is it? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this guy. Overall, he's playing a kicker with zero projection. Is that guy even playing? Whatever. I'm obviously going with Fu here.
Me too.
I think there's
going with
any
Fu.
shot.
Any given Sunday, bro. It happens.
Yeah, I guess you need what's the pathway to victory for this to happen? You
Brown
need
puts up 20. Everyone puts up 20 for him, except for Javante, obviously.
yeah, like Javante's not going to give you more than 8. Would be like, oh shit, I got
He'll have
get out of
5.
him. 1, 16, 1, 7, 9, 7, 24, 3. He's gonna put up
5.
5 points. You're gonna need Chase Brown to score every bit of 20, maybe more. Like he might have to get into the end zone twice. I think his only out is this Saquon Pittsburgh game. Pittsburgh's got a ridiculous defense. They really do. I I don't know. I don't see it happening for John. But again, I think the only way is Saquon gets shut down somehow, and Mike Evans gets banged up or something because he's been pretty injury prone. Other than that, I really don't even think it's possible for Johnny.
Yeah. I wish we could spend more time breaking this down, but I think
It's not even worth it, to be honest. Lamar Jackson playing at the Giants. They're 17-point favorites. He's gonna score 30.
17.
17 points. It's the biggest spread I've ever seen in an NFL game.
Yeah, wow. I'll take the Giants plus 17.
Yeah, okay. I didn't even think they'll score a point.
Next.
So yeah, we're going with Fu. Fu, congrats on the title.
This is
Uh,
the only reason why we're doing this next because it's the same bracket side. This is the game of the week.
this is a massive game, and I want to say for these two teams, two very, very good teams. We talked about them all year. What a brutal draw in terms of the bracket for them. You not only have to play. I mean, our both of our teams are pretty good. I think these are the best three teams, Fulvio, and then these two teams that are in the league this year. And if you're one of these two teams, you're playing a top three team and then playing the number one team in the second round. That's awful. That's
Yeah,
absolutely awful.
that side of the bracket stinks to be on right now.
Oof. And we kind of mentioned it last week, like, hey, I'm really good with being the 2 and 3 seed here because we could stay away from Fulvio and these guys. Um, I'm very happy that we're on the other side, and I'm sure
The
you
other side
are
of the
too.
bracket is it to have a challenge in the championship game. They're gonna
Wow.
think it's gonna be easy, but you know.
I was texting Sal today about it. He goes, I have to go through more than likely Tiso if I win Fulvio, and then if I win that, probably one of us. I was like, that's a terrible run. That's a terrible run, but you never know what's going to happen here. Um, let's talk about it. Tiso gets all his guys back this week.
Mhm.
He's all his boys in the dome in New Orleans. No more Derek Carr. That game's going to be a rout.
Well, Josh Allen's in the dome too this week. So
But you're also playing at Detroit. Good point. It's a little bit different to me just because Detroit can get after the quarterback a little bit. That game will be competitive. I don't think this game will be. That's a big plus for Tiso. On the contrary, he has Derrick Henry at the Giants.
oof.
This
Big Dexy, huge day.
yeah, Jesus. This game, and hold on, before I say anything else, he's playing Calvin Austin. Oh my God, he is. Oh my
Like
God,
some Debo Samuel.
interesting. I'm curious if that stands for Salah. Um, I think this is like a 130 to 130 game, and it's just like, hey, who gets the extra point or two? I mean, to go through it, he's got the number one guy at each, or no, number two for Derrick Henry, right? Yeah, number two running back, number one receiver by far. On the Tiso side, he's just consistent. He's just consistent. He's got one of these better offenses with the stacks. McLaurin in the flex, which is huge. Brock Bowers is the best tight end in fantasy football, right? He gets 10 receptions a game, it feels like. And you coupled all of that up with Jefferson and Cup. It's bananas. It's a bananas team. On the Salah side, again, Calvin Austin's a weird one. Even Debo, I don't even like anymore. Yeah,
Wide
he
receiver 50.
sucks. He sucks. In my opinion, there's better guys probably on the market than this. Like on
There
waivers.
is. I wasn't gonna say that, but you know there are. I don't know if Salah's. Let's see if Salah's sharp enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll make some moves. I don't think. I mean, maybe this is the play. Maybe Calvin Austin's the play. He's not the play. Man, what are
You're
you
not.
thinking here? What are you thinking here?
Out of his bench. I mean, does he have anyone else?
He picked up this guy Taylor, which I honestly don't know why. Because he doesn't. I mean, he's got George Pickens. I guess he's hurt. That's kind of his
Wendell's
play.
questionable. Pickens is not going to play this week.
Is he officially out?
I think he's going to be out.
Not practicing today.
I mean, there's a long shot, but
Yeah, I mean, based on this, doesn't sound like he's gonna play. Yeah, assuming Pickett's gonna play. I guess that's why he's playing Calvin Austin.
yeah, I guess then that's not a terrible play. But Debo play is not it, bro.
No, I
I'm here to
think
give advice. So let's go to our picks. We got Kenny walks to the touchdowns on the bench for him right now.
I was looking today because I have Charbonnet, and we'll talk about him when we talk about my game. Um, I don't know if he's gonna play. I think he might be out for a little bit.
And I don't think that even is a big deal for Tiso, to be honest.
No, he could totally get by. Dowdle's been solid.
Now, like Carolina, I'll take that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, that team's starting to come together a little bit too. They've actually looked very competitive against the Bengals, even though they did lose that game in hilarious fashion. Hilarious fashion. And Brian Robinson is as consistent as they come. He gets a lot of action, and he produces. He runs hard.
This is tough. Um, I'm just liking the matchups a little bit better on the right side of this bracket, Tiso
Yeah.
side. And I like to see the upset. The 5 seed take down the 4 seed. It's not really huge discrepancy, but
Yeah. No, this is an absolute slobber knocker. I'm going with Tiso as well for the same reasons. I think just having this Washington stack, and then on top of that, it's just a better team. It's just a better team. It's going to be tough for him Again, I go back to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry could put up 40 in this game. It's very, very possible, and I think that's the pathway for Salad to win, is if they just run Derrick Henry 35 times, because they'll score 4 times if they do it, and they might. They really might. So this is definitely a coin flip. I'm going to go with Tiso. I think it's just the better team, but no slight to Salad. This is a Super Bowl worthy matchup.
Yeah. And the winner of this has to take on most likely Fulvio. So
Most likely Fulvio Salad. It doesn't
they
get
the
any easier
best
from you.
team win.
Yeah.
Or if Fulvio have a cakewalk to the title game.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
Or the
All
other side of the
eyes
bracket.
to the other side of the bracket. Let's start with you guys. That is the commish, Spade of Spades, going to Galamoretti Friti. Baron, I'll let you kick it off. This is your team. I know
Yeah.
he's coming to your house. What are we feeling? How are we feeling about the matchups? Any discrepancies in terms of potential moves in the starting lineup?
Yeah, I'll go through this right now. So,
Yeah.
a little history on the me Dan matchup.
Yep.
Year I took the title, I played Dan in the matchup. He was the 1 seed, I was the 8th seed. Let's just say that it worked out in my favor. Got this little
I didn't know
gem
you
here.
were the 8 seed when you won.
I believe I was.
Cinderella story.
What?
Cinderella. You were Cinderella.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Took down Dan. Um, you know, anything can happen. Anything can happen. But looking at my team, love Jalen Hurts. Tush push master touchdown. It seems like. Go look at his stats. He is a fiend for the 1 yard line. They love getting him on the 1 yard line.
Yep. And they find their way there more than any team I've ever seen in my entire life. No team gets to the one more than the Philadelphia Eagles. It's unreal.
And I saw something crazy. If they gave like Saquon those touches instead of him, it would be like the all-time running like touchdown leader. Like or something.
Yeah. He would score like 28 times.
But spread the love. Love has to go to Jalen. Who I don't like right now is AJ Big Justice Brown. If you want to go click on him, he is scaring me right now. He is.
There's something going on with this guy, and I'll chime in here. I think this is a good thing for you. Meaning, this is gonna be a tough game for the Eagles. The Eagles are very, very good. Second best team in the NFC. You could argue one of like the top 3 teams in football. I think if the Lions are number 1, you probably could throw the Chiefs in there, but I think the Eagles are that third team. They've like openly discussed that he's not happy with how this is going. I could see this going in a way where the Pittsburgh Steelers are not going to let them run the ball. Tomlin, he's one of the best coaches out there, one of the greatest coaches probably ever, right? He's ultra consistent, always has his guys ready to play. That defense is ferocious. I could totally see him being like, hey, Saquon's not beating us. Go throw it and get it done. A.J. Brown could beat 99.9% of corners if you let him give the chance. They might throw it to him 13, 14 times, which is very beneficial to you.
Oh, I need that. Like I need air.
Yeah, so I mean, he hasn't gotten it all year, and again, it's 100% why he's bitching and complaining on the sidelines. I get it, but 4 targets is going to cut it for a guy like AJ Brown. I don't care that you won this game or they barely won this game, right? This was a tough game for them.
Yeah.
If they want to go back to being that like high flying Super Bowl caliber team, they have to get this guy the ball. And I think
they won like the last 9 games, and he's still bitching. But to each their own.
Right, but like they haven't looked as dominant in some of these games that they should have. Like they're a lot better than the Panthers. They should have beat that team by a lot. They're a lot better than the Rams. Like this shouldn't have been a game for them, and it kind of wasn't actually. Now I'm thinking about it, because Saquon had like 1 trillion yards. But you know what I mean? Like this team could be really, 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 really elite, and I think that starts with getting this guy the ball. Sirianni's the worst coach ever. I cannot stand him. This could be again where you get a lot of targets for this guy. I think that would be beneficial for you.
10 minutes on the clock. Let me touch on my running backs are hurt, man. Both Buck came out of the game last week.
Mm-hmm.
Kamara came up questionable again this week.
Yep.
Depth and running back position it's been scarce since week 2. So
I like Jalen Warren.
I wouldn't mind having to roll him out this week, but I want Buck. Man.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's a good fallback plan, though. I think that's a better fallback plan than a lot of teams. Most teams would probably have, other than Fulvio.
Like, I'm banking on Brees not playing.
Right.
and that will make the playing field a little easier. Dan's path to victory is uh, AJ not having a good week, and my two running backs may be limited, but I
Yeah,
think
it's
taken super inconsistent. Brees hasn't been himself. Mayfield came back to earth a little bit.
yep.
Mooney's um,
Mooney's very good. Mooney's going to give him 13, 14, 15 points.
if I need AJ to compete with Mooney, I can't even know if that's possible this time of year.
I have a
Pacheco,
yeah.
and then it's gonna be a good matchup. I like this matchup.
Yeah, I mean it's showing a 50-50 split in terms of the projections. Obviously, you're going to go with yourself here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd be crazy to pick the other team. I'm going to pick you as well, and I'll tell you why. It's all matchup concerns for me. I don't think Brees Hall's going to play based on what I've been reading. He does have Braylon Allen, who's the other guy, which could be totally fine. But Pacheco against this Cleveland defense, Cleveland's not good. They'll love to get into shootouts with you. Pacheco looked horrible in that first game back. He's banking on him being back now. I don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, 3.9 yards per rush is not
but you
Isaiah
need him
Pacheco.
for the playoffs, and they'll be dumb to bell cow his ass right now.
I agree. So you're going to split time. He's very touchdown dependent for me. Like to get to this 12 points, you have to score.
Can't not play him if you're Dan, because like if he falls in the end zone,
I mean,
well,
yeah, but I don't
Tracy over
know.
him. I
I
wouldn't
don't
play
know.
Tracy over him against Baltimore. No, you can't.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'd probably play Downs. Like, if Downs is healthy, I'd probably play Downs.
Oh, it's in the flex. Yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean,
it's a flex for him. Um, and
but he
also,
probably have to move him up if Reese isn't there, and if he's going to play Braylon
also
Allen.
true. Also true.
Braylon
Um,
Allen split time with Isaiah Davis, and
yeah,
Davis had a better week, so it's not going to be
yeah. I
easy.
was gonna say Davis probably looked like the better back there in terms of yards per touch and whatnot.
Dan's going to have to pick someone, close his eyes, and just pick someone, and just
Right. I think he needs a big Kelsey week. I think
also
that's kind of how he wins, and I just don't. I don't see it. The team's gonna win. They win every game by 1 point. They're gonna win that game like 20-18 or something. James throws a stupid interception at the end of the game. I don't know. I just don't see it for Dan. But at the same time, T. Higgins could have 28 points, and it's like, oh, like that's where the points were making up. He's gonna need some guy to step up and have that game. I just don't see who it is, assuming Brees Hall doesn't play. If he does play, it could easily be Brees Hall. It's definitely his best player. I just don't see it. I don't
you
see
know.
it.
I'm going to say one last thing. We only have 6 minutes. We've got to cover your matchup.
Yeah.
Preseason, Dan's boy is on my roster. When I picked him, I heard the fuck you. And that is, if you scroll down a little, Sutton.
Cortland Sutton. Yeah.
I offer him like mid-season. I hated Sutton. I wanted to get rid of him right when he was at like the 0 mark. Probably offered him that week.
Yeah.
And like, I think it was for Tyrone Tracy or something like that.
Yeah.
He was crazy. You offer my boy to me in a trade and declined it. Dan's probably
Probably regretting that one.
But we'll see what happens in the end of this week. Let's go to the next matchup.
Yeah. Good luck tomorrow this week.
This next matchup.
All right. Team Dust. Frank the Tank. I'm not happy with this matchup.
Why is that?
Frank the Tank's my Super Bowl pick, and I don't like this team because this is a 90-point scorer or a 130-point scorer. And if anyone's going to get the 130 in the first round of the playoffs that has a good team, it's me. Josh Jacobs playing a game where he's going to get the ball 26 times. They're going to run the ball a shit ton because that's what they do. That's their pathway to win. The same thing with James Cook, right? This team is not going to let you throw it all over the field. It's going to be a ton of Josh Allen. It's going to be a ton of James Cook. They have no receivers to throw to. This is the guy that I'm afraid of. One of these games, he's going to do Tyreek Hill things, and it hasn't happened all year, right? Where's the Tyreek Hill game?
You got a glimpse of it last week.
He did, and this is why I'm not happy, man. This is why I'm not happy.
Since week one, is the first week since week one that he did it.
And what's happening with this team? The coach is about to get axed, and guess who's playing for a job right now? Tua. Tua needs to get paid. You know how you get paid? You go out there and you win a game against the Houston Texans, who are not good. And how do you win? You throw it to this fucking guy. If I lose, and I don't think I will, and I'm going to pick myself, if I lose, it's going to be because of this motherfucker. And if I do lose, I will hate him forever, and he will be number 5 on my list. I have a list of people I hate. He'll be number 5. Otherwise, in terms of my pathway to victory, I need in the worst way Kenneth Walker to not play this game. I don't have an RB2. I was riding with Dobbins for a while. He was giving me like 10 points a week, and it was perfect because that's all I needed. He got hurt, and I have Gus Edwards. He's not good. He scored like 16 touchdowns or whatever for the Ravens last year. Yeah, that's not happening anymore. I need Charbonnet to play badly. If he doesn't play, I'm going to have to go with maybe McCormick. I've been kind of accumulating these other rando running backs just in case he doesn't play. Or Kenneth Walker does play, I should say. I don't know. I should feel comfortable, but I'm not. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing or not. Overall, I'm just going to need my guys to pull up. And unfortunately, they're playing the Bills. The Bills now defensively, and you know this, that's division rivalries, are not good, right? At home, I'm hoping these guys can just do their job and get me over the finish line. The one decision I'm thinking about, just giving you an insight into what my lineup's going to look like, is do I play this bastard Smith and Jigba, or do I play wide receiver one Juwan Jennings? And that game is tomorrow for Jennings. So I will be thinking about this from now until 8:14 tomorrow night.
I would hate to be in your spot for that decision, because that is a tough decision.
Right, and it's tough because obviously if you play him and he scores 20 points, then it's like, hey, I feel great. But you're also at the line of, oh, I could totally see this where I sit him and he scores 20 points, and it's like, well, now I lost because I didn't play him.
He still has to play defense, which is not factored into his point projection.
Right. No, this is going to be closer than it looks because the defense will probably give you 8 points or something. He doesn't have one yet, but 8-ish points.
We got 2 minutes left. 2-minute warning. I'm going, bro. You're 10-4. This kid is. I know he's getting hot now. 6-8.
Yep.
I'm gonna take you. I got to. 2 seed. Can't go out like this to your Super Bowl pick. I mean, you go out to Super Bowl pick, you go out to Super Bowl pick. If you win,
yeah, no, it's a win-win. And I made the joke last week. It's a win-win for me because if I win, obviously I'm a game out of the Super Bowl, and if I lose, my pick is a game out of the Super Bowl. But I will be crushed if I lose this game, and I'll never talk to Frank ever again, ever again. So overall, I'm going with myself. I'm not confident at all. Not confident at all.
Are we doing mortals this week?
Yeah, I think we should. And then clean slate it. Although I do think we picked the same 4 teams, right? We're going with 4 favorites. Myself, Fulvio, Tiso, and then yourself. So let's drop more. We got a minute left. I'm not going to pick Fulvio because that's too easy. I'm going to say my mortal is you.
Oh, really?
I think my mortal is you. I don't like the salad. Tiso game is way too hard to pick. I'm not going to pick myself.
I was going to do you, but then we'll do a gentleman's agreement. It's too easy. I'm going to pick you. I was going to mortal you. So
there you go. That's the show. Mar, best of luck to everyone watching, who is, I think, just Frank and probably Fulvio, maybe Dan. That might be it.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Best of luck. May the best man win. We'll be back next week with a playoff recap. That's the show. God bless.